field office. We also have colleagues from the Wadajir radio program, which is another initiative that TIS Plus funds. So we're happy to have our colleagues here. And we've got Ali Ahmed, who is another part of the TIS Plus program, working with Moifar as a technical advisor, in a similar way that Zach and Dakani work with the Ministry of Interior. Yeah, so I wanted to say congratulations on your elections process and the new president and the new cabinet. And this is an exciting time for Southwest. We know as a program that the pre-election and then the election period, there was a lot of activity. So now that everything has been resolved and people are in place, we're hoping we can start ramping up our implementation. And this El Berde project is a very visible project within our program with USAID, and I think Ali will back me up and say also with Moifar. So we're hoping to get a lot of lessons from the implementation of this project that can be captured and utilized by Southwest in your other district council formation processes, as well as learning for our program, which we can use in other states that we work in, and Moifar can pick up some of the lessons and materials that come out of this and utilize those more broadly. So it's an important program for us in many ways. I just wanted to say, for those of you who are new to TIS Plus, just a few things about the way that we work. The core principle of the program is that it's government-led, and we support from behind. So you're not going to see big banners with TIS Plus USAID. It's not the way we work. Our reason for being is to help legitimize and support the governments with which we work. So you won't see a lot of visibility in terms of advertising and marketing. We have field staff here to work closely with the government to find out what your priorities are and how we can support those. So it's very important. And as part of the senior management team, we encourage our field staff to be knocking on the doors of the ministries and making themselves familiar to you, finding out what you're struggling with, what you're succeeding at, and how we can support that. So that relationship is really, really important. With that way of working, we rely heavily on the senior leadership within ministries and within the political arm of the government. So acting president and speaker, we rely on your leadership to set the stage so that we can work effectively. And some of the things that we're going to go through today are things that we need your assistance in, because we are not the government, and we don't go around the government. We go through and with the government, hand in hand. So we need your leadership in some of these things in order for us to make the project successful. It's good to see you. You mentioned the 20% quota. Again, we can't get there on our own because we're external agents. You are the government, and you can provide the leadership that can help reach that 20% and maybe even more than 20%, yeah. Inshallah. Okay, so we also rely on government contributions, and that doesn't mean that we rely on money. we might rely on help with security or help with transportation or connecting us with certain people in certain places. So we need those government contributions in that respect. And every project that we fund, there is an element of government contribution to that. So that's another part of our way of working. We work at all levels of government, so we're working at the federal level through people like Ali, and we have a whole set of grants that we call Somalia-wide grants. Some of those we're trying to bring down to the state level. The Wadajir radio program is one example. It's been implemented primarily within Mogadishu, and we'd like to look at how we can extend that further to the state level and beyond. We have people at the state level, Zach, Dekani, our field office. We're working at the district level. The Berde project is an example. And with some of our construction projects, we're actually working at the grassroots level, at the village level, through recruiting local workers and working with local grassroots leadership. We've got two main streams of focus. One is infrastructure focused, and another is what we call the soft focus. The Berde project is a soft focus. And in a minute, I'll just ask Mohammed if he can just talk a little bit more about some of the upcoming work that we're going to be doing in Southwest. Minister, you already know the past work, but he can update. The last thing that I'd like to mention is, and we'd like to know the status of this. The last time I was in Baidoa, I had the fortune of meeting with the Interministerial Council that had been set up for TIS to collaborate with TIS Plus. I have to say that in all of the countries that I've worked in all of the different ministries, that group was so impressive. The cooperation and collaboration between the members of the group, the nice feel of the group. So I guess a question that Iftikhar, our chief of party, and I have is, now that you have a new government in place, what is the fate of this interministerial group that's been working with TIS Plus? Because it made our job a lot easier. So that would be something, if we could get an update on that would be very helpful. With that, I think, Mohammed, if you just say a few words about our upcoming work.